Welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're going to make something that is really, really simple and very cheap, inexpensive compared to buying it store-bought. And all it's going to take is an egg and a few other ingredients. I love going to Starbucks, not for the coffee anymore, but the egg bites that they sell. I'll pull this up here a little bit where you can see it in this. The egg bites are just absolutely wonderful. However, they're expensive, and if you are on carnivore or keto, they're really not good nutritionally because they have a lot of carbs. This is the bacon Gruyere, something unpronounceable cheese, and it has 9 net carbs. Now, on keto, you're trying to keep your carbs typically below 20 grams a day. So by ordering this, you've already expended half of your daily allotment. I did find these at Target, and I have bought these on occasion, and this one is the bacon and cheese. Now, it's Monterey Jack and cheddar. It's not the fancy cheese, but they are very good, and they only have 3 grams of carbs. But again, they're rather expensive, and we're going to go through the process of making some from scratch. And to do that, I'm going to start with a blender. Now, I wonder if I can get this to reach all the way over here. Probably not. We're going to plug it in back here, and we'll put this on here, and what is that, still in my camera above, so I'm okay. And I am enjoying a little bit of the last of the Panera coffee from this morning. So if I wind up warming it up in a minute, just don't mind me. We're going to use 6 eggs in this recipe, and we're also going to use a little bit of cottage cheese, and I went ahead and splurged on the Gruyere, the unpronounceable cheese, and I have some bacon bits. Now, as another splurge for me, even though this is carnivore month and this is technically not carnivore, I have bought some diced pimentos to add as well because I like the color splash, and, you know, they're not that difficult to use. So I'm going to just put these eggs in here. People get all flustered about cracking eggs. They're worried about messing them up. Did you know that you can just drop an egg and it will do exactly what you want it to do? So don't worry about it too much. I'm going to throw this away because I'm about to run out of hand. And we're going to put the 6th egg in here. Now, these are extra large eggs. They could be large. They could be medium. Sometimes I buy medium eggs for things like this, especially for omelets, those kinds of things. So I've got those. Now the recipe calls for 4 ounces of cottage cheese. This Good Culture cottage cheese is one of the best tasting that I've found, and this is 5 ounces. So it's close. Get a spoon here. Not that spoon, it's dirty. And we're going to add the cottage cheese. All except for about a spoonful, which will get it closer to 4 ounces, which I will enjoy. And then it calls for about a half a cup of cheese. And typically I use cheddar Colby Jack, those kinds of things. But for this video, that's a half, I decided to splurge. I got the really good cheese like Starbucks uses. I'm going to throw in just a little bit extra just because. Then I'm just going to double check that this bottom is good and tight. And we're going to blend. It doesn't take much, as you can see. And then I need a muffin tin. Now I have my oven already preheated to 300 degrees. And that will be just fine for this. I'm going to... Now, it will obviously, because we've added some things in, it's going to make more than 6 muffins. But in order to pour this a little easier, I'm going to put this into a little smaller container. And we're going to come into these tins and we're going to add some bacon bits. Now in here I've got bacon bits and pecan bits. This is left over from Christmas. Actually, I don't need the pecans because they're not carnivore. We're going to pretend like I know how many of these it's going to make here. I'm going to start with 8. And leave a little bit to add in if I need it. And then get another spoon. Okay. Going to be that way. Here is the tried and true method of getting a tight lid off. You can hear it when it pops. And then I'm just going to add... not a whole lot, but, you know, a tablespoon and a half a tablespoon. This is actually a teaspoon or a half a teaspoon, just a little bit. And again, by adding more things in here, it's going to cause my eggs to go farther in the muffin tin, so we'll see where we wind up. Okay. Now let's fill these up. Now I'm going to fill them up pretty much to the top here. When they cook, they will rise up kind of like a muffin top, but then they will shrink down again as they cool off. So we want to get the full benefit of the muffin tin. 8 might come out pretty good, actually. It's almost like I knew what I was doing. Look at that. Okay, there we go. All right, now I'm going to put this in the oven. Now, just in case my oven is cooking hotter on one side than the other, this needs to cook between 20 and 25 minutes. You can be the judge of that for your own oven, but I'm going to put it in for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to flip it so that it's turned around the other way, and I'm going to cook it for another 10 minutes. We'll come back at 20 minutes and see what it looks like. We'll see you in just a little bit. Well, it's been 20 minutes. I did stop at the 10-minute mark, turn the pan around, and I'm going to pull it out and see what it looks like. I think it's going to be done enough at 20 minutes, so we're going to take a look at it and see. Let's put a towel down so I can keep it off my countertop a little bit. And it's a little bit wet in the middle, which I don't mind too much, but I'm going to let it sit just a couple of minutes. And the reason that I don't mind it being a little wet in the middle is because I'm not going to eat all 8 of these at one sitting. They're going to go in the refrigerator, and then they're going to be popped in the microwave, which will get it even a little more done in the middle. So having it undercooked just a little bit works to my advantage. Let me see if I can. I don't want to get ahead of myself and pull it out too soon. But I do want to see it outside of the muffin tin. So I have the 2 store-bought ones here. And I'm afraid that it's not set enough yet. Let's see if I can get it out with this. I need to be able to get under it just a little bit. Put this over here. And so you can see the differences here. This is Starbucks. This is Target. This is mine. I know what you're thinking. And some of you may not have watched the video this far and went ahead and commented. That's okay. But I do know that these 2 are cooked with the sous vide method. I don't have that ability. The closest I can come is a slow bake in the oven. And so if I had a sous vide, that would be perfect, but I don't. Now, it's a little bigger than these 2. These are pretty packy. This will sit down and become kind of packy after it cools off. It's not going to look like that right now. But let's see if we can. I'm hoping that it's done enough now that I can show it. I think it is. So you can see that, I'm going to get this up a little closer to the camera. It is just a little wet in the middle, which is fine. Not going to bother me any, because again, it's going to get a little packy in the refrigerator, and then the microwave is going to finish cooking that when I warm it up later. And you'll notice I didn't put any salt in this. You could do that if you wanted to, but because I had the bacon, I decided I didn't need any extra salt. So let's see what this looks like. Let's pull this camera up here. Ah, there we go. Let's see what this tastes like here. I would serve that to anybody. So it's a nice way to make not only a nice breakfast dish, a couple of these in the morning, but it's also a mid-afternoon snack. The egg is just unbelievably versatile in what you can do with it. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of this one. I'm not going to throw the ones away that I bought. I'm going to eat them later. We'll see you next time.